Good afternoon. Today we presented my story fight that compares a conflict presented in ceremony and a present world conflict that I chose. The conflict I chose is PTSD, which is a disorder developed in people who have experienced shocking and traumatic situations during their life. The quote I chose is, Tyler is a World War I veteran who returns from the Pacific War, suffering terribly from what was then called the battle fatigue and will now be called, as soldiers continue to experience it, post-traumatic stress disorder. This quote explained how Tayo after World War II ended up with a mental problem called PTSD. Tayo got traumatized after killing so many people during war, and he keeps convincing himself that among these people, he killed his uncle Josiah. He also suffered a lot by seeing his cousin die in front of him and not being able to help him survive. This guilt was ending up with his life, and he had to find a way in order to fight against his disorder. This is a video that explains what is PTSD in order for you to understand what it is.
Have you or someone you love ever been in a tornado or car accident, experienced sexual or physical abuse, served in a war zone? Most people have been through some kind of life-threatening or traumatic event, and it's common to have stress-related reactions after a trauma. But when symptoms last more than 3 months and they're not getting better, it's time to get help.
I found this tweet that says that every one of 3 persons develop PTSD. This is telling us that many people around the world develop PTSD, which is something common. This connects to ceremony since when Ty was getting better, he realized that he's not the only one suffering with PTSD. Some of his childhood friends who fought in war had similar post-traumatic disorder. We can see this not only common today, but also in World War II. This image shows one of the causes of PTSD, which is war, since it traumatizes people from all the shocking things they can see. This was the reason of why Tyler got PTSD, since he got shocked from seeing terrible things during World War II. I found another tweet which says that PTSD may be linked to structural changes in brain network. If we click the website, we can learn that child trauma is tied to a variety of neurochemical and hormonal effects that can lead to lasting changes in brain structure and function. Also, the MRI is used in order to prevent any negative brain changes. We can see that technology keeps on advancing and that they're finding new information on PTSD, which will provide getting rid of it in the future. We can see that today we have the sources in order to cure PTSD, and back in World War II, there were no cure in it. This video from BuzzFeed shows what it feels like to have PTSD. As you may know, people with PTSD don't think nor feel the same way as us.
I have PTSD from serving my country. All I want to do is go back to Iraq to feel normal again.
I have PTSD from sexual assault trauma, and I'm worried that because of it, I won't ever be able to have a normal relationship.
I have PTSD and have nightmares every night, so I avoid sleeping as much as possible.
Today I was diagnosed with PTSD. Now I'm feeling more anxious and depressed about it. I'm not looking forward to the stigma that comes along with it.
I live with PTSD from Iraq every day. Nobody knows, they just think I'm antisocial, boring, and a bit strange.
I can't keep a relationship going because of my PTSD. There's gotta be a girl out there who's willing to look past it for me.
I have PTSD, and when people find out, they ask where I served. When I tell them I wasn't in the military, they dismiss it like I'm lying.
As you might see, people suffer every day from PTSD, getting frustrated and wanting to end with their lives. This connects to ceremony since Dyer suffered after the war from PTSD, and he gets mad and upset from himself. This image shows a soldier doing war. He's suffering and he cannot handle it anymore. This image connects to the way Tayo was feeling during war. All he wanted to do was get out and to be free, since he cannot handle anymore seeing people die. This article was recently shared on Facebook, and it is called Experiences Post-Traumatic Trauma Disorder. If we click the link, we can see that it talks about the way the millennial Americans are traumatized as a result of the election, which is causing them post-traumatic trauma disorder. If we go back, we can see that the person who puts a comment is mad, since people are comparing PTSD to something that has nothing to do with it. They're making fun of people who are actually suffering from PTSD. This map shows a number of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans with PTSD. We see that California and Texas has more than 5,000, and in the other states it is mostly average and spread. This is a soldier suffering from PTSD. This might be the way that Tayo felt during World War II. This is another tweet which shows that DEA approves marijuana study for veterans with PTSD. If we click the link, we can see that they're using marijuana in order to conduct treatments for PTSD. We can see that technology is advancing and they're finding a way in order to get rid of people who suffer with PTSD. I found a real-life article which talks the refugee from Syria go from suffering war to fighting against PTSD. We can see how people still suffer from PTSD as they did after World War II. Finally, I found a song in SoundCloud of PTSD. Hope you like my video and you learn a lot of PTSD and how it compares to ceremony. Thank you for watching.